Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. We are continuing our reading of Sahih al Bukhari, Volume 1. Let's begin. We're in the book of the Adhan. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Then the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, 5 are martyrs. One who dies of plague, one who dies of an abominable disease. Abominable. Abdominal. Haha, 2 words that sound exactly alike. One who dies of drowning, one who is buried alive and dies, and one who is killed in a lost cause. So think about that. One who is buried alive. Wow. Can you talk about terrifying? The Prophet, peace be upon him, further said, if the people knew the reward for pronouncing the Adhan and for standing in the first row in the congregational salah, and found no other way to get it except by drawing lots, they would do so. The Prophet, peace be upon him, added, and if they knew the reward of offering the Duhur prayer early in its stated time, they would race for it, and if they knew the reward for Isha and Fajr prayers in congregation, they would attend them even if they were to crawl. So Isha, what's fascinating about that, so let's say Isha is at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night. That is a tempting time for people to go clubbing and bar hopping. No good comes after midnight. And so to be praying at 9 p.m., that's pretty awesome. Think about that. Instead of having the nightlife looking for trouble, you're praying. Chapter 33. Every step towards good deeds is rewarded. V36:12. Narrated Humayd, Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, said, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, O Bani Salima, don't you think that for every step of yours that you take towards the mosque, there is reward while coming for the 5 compulsory salat prayers? Mujahid said, regarding Allah's statement, ... we record that which they send before them, and their traces. V36:12. Their traces means their steps. And Anas said that the people of Bani Salima wanted to shift to a place near the Prophet, peace be upon him, but Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, disliked that Al-Madinah city should become naked, i.e. with empty outskirts without inhabitants, i.e. the leaving of their houses empty, and said, O Bani Salima, don't you think that you will get the reward for your traces every step of yours that you take towards the Prophet's mosque? There is reward while coming for the 5 compulsory salah. Mujahid said, their traces mean their footsteps and their going on foot. So here we see another mercy. People think, oh, I'm far away. If I just move closer, it'll be better. But here we see, no, you'll be rewarded for every step you take. And we've read the hadith similar to that many times. MashaAllah. Chapter 34. The superiority of the Isha prayer in congregation. Narrated Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, no salah prayer is more heavy harder for the hypocrites than the Fajr and the Isha prayers, and if they knew the reward for these salah at their respective times, they would certainly present themselves in the mosques, even if they had to crawl. The Prophet, peace be upon him, added, certainly I intended or planned or was about to order the muadhin, call maker, to pronounce the ikmah, and order a man to lead the salah, and then take a fire flame, burning torch, to burn all those men along with their houses who had not yet left their houses for the salah in the mosques. That one, figure of speech emphasizing the importance of prayer, how serious it is. Chapter 35. 2 or more than 2 persons are considered as a group for the congregational prayer. Narrated Malik bin Hurayth. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, 2 persons, whenever as-salah, the prayer time, becomes due, you should pronounce adhan and then ikama, and the older of you should lead the prayer. Now, older as in taking on more wisdom and knowledge, because I do remember there was others who were saying the one who was the most knowledgeable in the Quran should lead. Chapter 36. The reward of a person who waits for as-salah, the prayer, in the mosque, and the superiority of mosques. Narrated Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, said, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, the angels keep on asking for Allah's blessing and forgiveness for any one of you as long as he is at his musalla, praying place, and does not do hadath, pass wind. The angels say, O Allah, forgive him and be merciful to him. Each one of you is in salah as long as he is waiting for the salah, and nothing but salah detains him from going to his family. Narrated Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, Allah will give shade to 7 on the day when there will be no shade but his. These 7 persons are: 1. A just ruler; 2. A youth who has been brought up in the worship of Allah, i.e. worships Allah Azza wa Jal alone, sincerely from his childhood; a man whose heart is attached to the mosques, i.e. who offers the 5 compulsory congregational salah prayer in the mosques; 4. 2 persons who love each other only for Allah's sake, and they meet and part in Allah's cause only; 5. A man who refuses the call of a charming woman of noble birth for illegal sexual intercourse, and with her, and says, I am afraid of Allah. Oh my God. So powerful. Okay, I'm going to put a little start next one. So, Allah will give shade to 7 on the day when there will be no shade but his. And 7 persons. Okay, so purity. We'll put purity right here in the annotation. So, a man who refuses the call of a charming woman of noble birth for fornication, right? So not only was Prophet Yusuf an example for men, because he literally did that, we see here a hadith narrated by Abu Huraira that man will be rewarded for not doing illegal sexual intercourse. And charming, because it is very difficult to resist. When we read his farewell speech, it said, essentially be aware of women. Gotta remember that. How important it is. A man who gives charitable gifts so secretly that his left hand does not know what his right hand has given, i.e. nobody knows how much he has given in charity. And a person who remembers Allah in seclusion and his eyes become flooded with tears. That's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Very potent hadith. Something that can really help you. A youth that has been brought up in the worship of Allah. So us moms, we see this and we recognize how important it is to teach our kids Islam. This is wonderful because I think about my children and how my toddler, see me pray on my mat, and she'll go sit on my mat. It's so funny. When I prostrate, and she's like sitting there, you hear the crinkle of her little diaper, and then she sits down, and she pats me on my back. Oh, it's so precious. Oh. Narrated who made Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, was asked, did Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, wear a ring? He said yes. Once he delayed the Isha prayer till midnight, and after prayer, he faced us and said, the people has offered salah and have slept, and you remained in salah, as long as you waited for it. Anas added, as if I were just observing the glitter of his ring. Okay, so a ring. Chapter 37, the superiority of going to the mosque every morning and in the afternoon and evening for the congregational salah prayers. Narrated Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, Allah will prepare for him who goes to the mosque every morning in the afternoon for the congregational salah an honorable place in paradise, with good hospitality for what he has done every morning and afternoon goings. Good hospitality. Chapter 38. No salah prayer is to be offered, except the compulsory salah after the iqamah has been pronounced for that compulsory salah. Narrated Malik bin Buhayna, may Allah be pleased with him, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, passed by or saw a man offering 2 rak'ah after the iqamah had been pronounced. When Allah's Messenger completed the salah prayer, the people gathered around him, the Prophet, peace be upon him, or that man, and Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said to him, protestingly, are there 4 rak'ah in Fajr prayer? Are there 4 rak'ah in Fajr prayer? Okay, so he's getting at the number. You can do extra voluntaries on your own later, I think is what this is getting at. Chapter 39. The limit set for a patient to attend the congregational salah prayer. Narrated Al-Aswad, we were with Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, discussing the regularity of offering as-salah, the prayer, and dignifying it. She said, when Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, fell sick with his fatal illness, and when the time of as-salah became due and adhan was pronounced, he said, tell Abu Bakr to lead the people in salah prayer. He was told that Abu Bakr was a soft-hearted man and would not be able to lead the salah in his place. The Prophet, peace be upon him, gave the same order again, but he was given the same reply. He gave the order for the 3rd time and said, you women are the companions of Joseph. Tell Abu Bakr to lead the salah. So Abu Bakr came out to lead the salah. In the meantime, the condition of the Prophet, peace be upon him, improved a bit, and he came out with the help of 2 men, one on each side, as if I was observing his legs dragging on the ground owing to the discomfort. Abu Bakr wanted to retreat, but the Prophet, peace be upon him, beckoned him to remain at his place, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, was brought till he sat beside Abu Bakr. Al-Amash was asked, was the Prophet, peace be upon him, offering prayers and Abu Bakr was following him? And were the people following Abu Bakr in salah? Al-Amash replied in the affirmative, with a nod of his head. Abu Muawiyah said, the Prophet, peace be upon him, was sitting on the left side of Abu Bakr, who was offering prayers while standing. The dragging of the feet, you can see how painful that can be, man. Ouch. You know, how you appreciate health when you have it is so important. Narrated Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, when the Prophet, peace be upon him, became seriously ill and his disease aggravated, he asked for permission from his wives to be nursed in my house, and he was allowed. So he asked permission from his wives to be nursed in the house of Aisha. He came out with the help of 2 men while his legs were dragging on the ground. He was between Al-Abbas and another man. Ubaydullah said, I told Ibn Abbas what Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, had narrated, and he said, do you know who was the second man whose name Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, did not mention? I said, no. Ibn Abbas said, he was Ali bin Abi Talib. Why? Okay, so he said, do you know who was the second man whose name Aisha didn't mention? And it was Ali. Why didn't she mention it? So, all the wives had to have worked together to really have given permission. So, Aisha did have a bout of jealousy, wasn't it, for Zainab? That she was very... and that she got mad that he would mention Khadija. But we see, though, that in the end, he was open about who he was married to, and they had to accept it. You know, a very healthy example of polygamy. Chapter 40. It is permissible to pray at one's dwelling during rain, or if there is genuine excuse. Narrated Nafi, once on a very cold and stormy night, Ibn Umar pronounced the adhan for the Salah prayer, and then said, offer prayers in your homes. He, Ibn Umar, added, on very cold and rainy nights, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, used to order the muadhin to say, offer prayers in your homes. Yeah, to make people that super troubled, you know, is really difficult and quite dangerous. Even in some places where it's really cold, there's black ice on the roads, there's flash flooding, lots of dangers. Narrated Mahmud bin Rabi al-Ansari, Itban bin Malik used to lead his people tribe in prayer. He was blind man. He said to Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, O Allah's Messenger, at times it is dark and flood water is flowing in the valley, and I am a blind man. So please offer prayers at a place in my house so that I can take it as a musalla praying place. So Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, went to his house and said, where do you like me to pray? Itban pointed to a place in his house, and Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, offered the prayer there. You see the courteousness? He could have been like, no, blind man, I don't give a damn what you need. But he had the humility and the humbleness to, you know, be courteous to the blind man's request. Chapter 41. Can the Imam offer the Salah prayer with only those who are present for the prayer? And can he deliver a khutbah, religious talk, on Friday if it is raining? Narrated Abdullah bin al-Harith. Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, addressed us on a rainy and muddy day, when the muhadithin said, Hayya la salah, come for a salah, the prayer. Ibn Abbas ordered him to say, offer prayers in our rahal homes. The people began to look at one another with surprise, as if they did not like it. Ibn Abbas said, it seems that you thought ill of it, but no doubt it was done by one who was better than I, i.e. the Prophet, peace be upon him. It, as-salah, is a strict order, and I dislike to bring you out. In another narration, Ibn Abbas narrated the same as above, but he said, I did not like to make you sinful in refraining from coming to the mosque, and to come to the mosque covered with mud up to the knees. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, if you're in a place, because some places they don't have very paved roads. When it's muddy, you're going to cake in some stuff on the bottom of your pants, and then when you go to pray, it's going to get anywhere. Narrated Abu Sayyid al-Khudri, and I'll be pleased with him, a cloud came and it rained till the roof of the mosque started leaking. And in those days the roof used to be of the branches of date palms. Iqamah was pronounced, and I saw Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, prostrating in water and mud, and even I saw the mark of mud on his forehead. So here we see the humbleness of the Prophet and how Islam started out, I think you can appreciate both. A place of prayer, no matter how simple, can be special, and then also just marveling at the architecture of some places. But to understand, it's about who's there, and remember, you get rewarded for building a mosque, and I don't think there's limits in great architects coming together and making something pretty, but you want to make sure that it radiates those who dwell in it. It doesn't just become a decoration. Narrated Anas bin Sirin. I heard Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, saying, a man from the Ansar said to the Prophet, peace be upon him, I cannot offer as-salah the prayer with you in congregation. He was a very fat man, and he prepared a meal for the Prophet, peace be upon him, and invited him to his house. He spread out a mat for the Prophet, peace be upon him, and washed one of its sides with water. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, offered 2 rak'ah prayers on it. A man from the family of Al-Jarud asked, did the Prophet, peace be upon him, used to offer the duha forenoon prayer? Anas said, I did not see him offering the duha prayer except on that day. I wonder what kind of food it was. Chapter 42. What should one do if the meal has been served and the iqamah has been pronounced for as-salah, the prayer? And Ibn Umar used to start with the supper first. Abu Darda said, it is a sign of comprehension of a person to fulfill or turn to his needs first, so as to offer prayer attentively with a clear mind. Narrated Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, if supper is served and iqamah is pronounced, one should start with the supper. I remember this one because when you're a mama cooking and the little tots have started eating, and you're like, oh man, it's hard sometimes. Narrated Anas bin Malik, may Allah be pleased with him, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, if the supper is served, start having it before offering the Maghrib prayer, and do not be hasty in finishing your supper. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Okay, supper. Narrated Nafi Ibn Umar said, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, if supper is served for any one of you and the iqamah is pronounced, start with the supper and don't be in haste, and carry on eating till you finish it. If food supper was served for Ibn Umar and iqamah was pronounced, he never came to the prayer till he finished it, i.e. the food, in spite of the fact that he heard the recitation of the Quran by the Imam in the prayer. I wonder, because it's like, if you're weak and you've just eaten, you worked all day, and you're so desperately hungry, your hunger can, really distract you in a certain sense. We practice that in Ramadan. We're hungry, but we fast. But, the coldness of it, it's something to think about. Worrying about flies getting it, the respect for the person who made it, your digestion. I wonder, but it is a mercy that you get to finish your food. But do your best to time it as best you can. Narrated Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, if any one of you is having his meals, he should not hurry up till he is satisfied, even if the salah prayer has been started. Chapter 43. When the Imam is called for as-salah, the prayer, while he has in his hand something to eat. Narrated Jafar bin Amr bin Umayyah, my father said, I saw Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, eating a piece of meat from the shoulder of a sheep, and he was called for as-salah, the prayer. He stood up, put down the knife, and offered salah prayers, but did not perform ablution. Maybe he was already in a state of purity? As in, like, eating meat doesn't violate your wudu. That's what I think of when I see something like that. Alright, fam. Excellent reading. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Always educational, always learning something. And I hope that you are memorizing hadith with this series. And I bet you will finish up soon in this book, you know. We're almost to the end. And I'm very happy. Very happy about it. We finished Riyadh al-Salihin and others, Sahih Muslim, and now soon Sahih Bukhari, those volume 1s. So if you've been along for the journey, I greatly appreciate you. And take care. If you'd like to support my channel and see more about what I write about, you can join my blog. And that is at www.subscribestar.com/MilahanArchive. Hope to see you there.